Can you imagine falling asleep peacefully, only to wake up and realize something has been drinking your blood the entire night? No pain, no warning, just a tiny creature silently feeding. And no, this isn't a horror movie. These creatures are very real, and some of them might even live near you. Today on Project Uncanny, we dive into the dark anatomy of animals that drink blood like vampires. And trust me, nature may be far more terrifying than fiction. In this channel, we explore the strange, the disturbing, and the unexplained side of nature and humanity. Today we uncover nature's real vampires, creatures that survive on a diet that most animals would never dare touch. Blood. Let's start with the most famous blood drinker in the animal kingdom, the vampire bat. These tiny flying mammals live mainly in Central and South America, and despite their small size, they have one of the most disturbing feeding methods in nature. First, they quietly land near a sleeping animal, cow, horse, goat, or occasionally humans. Then they use razor-sharp teeth to make a tiny surgical cut. And here, where the creepy science begins. Their saliva contains a chemical that prevents blood from clotting, meaning the blood keeps flowing. And the bat simply laps it up like a tiny vampire milkshake. Now the strangest part. The animal almost never wakes up. So technically, you could be eaten alive by one and sleep through the whole thing, which is honestly the worst alarm clock imaginable. If the vampire bat looks cute, the lamprey looks like something that escaped from a nightmare. Lampreys are ancient fish that have existed for over 360 million years. And their mouth looks like a living circular saw. Instead of normal jaws, they have a suction cup mouth full of teeth. When they find a fish, they attach themselves to the victim's body like a living parasite. Then they scrape through the skin and drink the blood and bodily fluids. Yes, fluids. Lampreys are basically the vacuum cleaners of horror biology. And if you're wondering, yes, humans have been bitten by them too, which is the kind of surprise nobody wants during a relaxing swim. Now let's talk about the most dangerous blood drinker on Earth. And ironically, it's the smallest, the mosquito. Only female mosquitoes drink blood. Why? Because they need the protein in blood to develop their eggs. But here's the terrifying statistic. Mosquitoes are responsible for more human deaths than any other animal in history. Over 700,000 deaths every year due to diseases like malaria and dengue, which means the tiny buzzing sound near your ear at night is technically the soundtrack of the deadliest hunter on Earth. And somehow, they still manage to disappear the second you turn on the light. Mosquitoes might actually have PhDs in hide and seek. Next is a creature surrounded by one of the most disturbing legends in the Amazon, the kangaroo fish, also called the toothpick fish. This tiny parasite is known to swim into the gills of larger fish and feed on their blood. But according to local legends, it has a far more terrifying habit. They say the kangaroo can swim up a human urine stream and enter the body. Now scientists debate whether this really happens, but the fact that such a rumor even exists tells you everything about how creepy this fish is. Imagine going for a peaceful swim and suddenly realizing something the size of a toothpick is attempting the most horrifying home invasion in biology. No thank you. Finally, we have the classic blood drinker, the leech. Leeches are basically nature's living syringes. They attach to skin using suction, then release chemicals that numb the area, meaning you often don't feel them biting you at all. They also release anticoagulants that keep the blood flowing, so they can feed slowly and peacefully. Fun fact though, leeches were once used by doctors in medieval medicine. Doctors believed removing blood could cure diseases, which sounds ridiculous today. But surprisingly, modern medicine actually still uses leeches in microsurgery to help restore blood circulation. So technically, the creepiest parasite in the swamp is also a certified medical professional. Somewhere out there, a leech is basically saying, "Relax, I'm a doctor." When we think about vampires, we imagine ancient castles, capes, and creatures of the night. But the truth is, nature already invented them. Tiny hunters that drink blood silently in the darkness. And the scariest part, they've been doing it for millions of years. So the next time you hear a buzz in the dark, or feel something crawling in the water, just remember, you might not be alone. This is Project Uncanny, where the line between nature and nightmare is thinner than you think. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more dark mysteries of nature. And tell me in the comments, which of these creatures disturbed you the most? Because honestly, I'm still not over the lamprey.